with caution.
What is up everyone, and welcome to another Jamie Tech video. This time we're going a little bit more in depth in terms of normals and target combos. All of the stuff, I have to make sure to tell you this, but please, before you start watching a video like this, please make sure to watch my Jamie guide from the previous beta first, where I talked about every single normal that Jamie has, a little bit more in depth and what he's capable of. However, you know, with time comes more experience and we get a little bit more wiser. There's also other people that find stuff. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about normals that I thought, or target combos that I thought first were a little bit useless, or you know, didn't seem to have a purpose, and a little bit other stuff as well. So let's start off with standing heavy kick, the roundhouse, standing roundhouse. Obviously, as you guys know, on punish counter, this gives us a crumple. However, the serious issue that I found, for example, because we all know that crouching fierce is our most damaging normal, 972. But you can get a free dash in after the crumple and go for a crouching fierce. Nothing weird there, right? We can just get, for example, this into that, and we can get true drink levels. However, let's say if I want to extend that and go for a drive rush, and obviously I want to get crouching fierce into crouching fierce, right? Because it gives me the most damage. Well, you're gonna experience something like that. You're going underneath, and you wasted your drive rush, you wasted your combo. It's a little bit sad, and I agree. So I have figured, I have tried a lot of different buttons to try and figure it out, but most of them, you know, I just ended up on the other side, which was actually very annoying. Crouching medium kick as well. The only way this works, obviously, is in the corner. As you can see. However, obviously I figured something out about this. The only button that hits is crouching medium punch, and at itself it doesn't really get that much purpose, but you can turn that into a safe jump setup. This only works if they recover in place. I gotta add that. I haven't figured something out for back recovery, so if anyone watching this can figure something out for back recovery, that would be super cool. But I'm gonna show you how it's done. So what you do is you obviously go for the punish counter, crouching fierce, and then into crouching medium punch. As you can see, there we go. And after that, you go for standing fierce into HK arrow kick, the roundhouse DP. And we're gonna put him on. I'll show the combo first. So you can see that we hit him very high up, and the reason why this is very handy is because obviously the frame data changes a lot, and we actually get a safe jump on this, which is really cool. So let me just put it on OD rising uppercut. So as you just saw there, we are safe from the OD rising uppercut. And just to show you that the jump doesn't whiff in general, there we go. So if they go for an OD uppercut, we will be safe on block, and if they don't, well, obviously they will get hit. Now, like I said, this also kinda works mid-screen. However, just like I explained, it only works when they go for regular recovery. There we go. As you can see, you have to use jumping medium kick, but it works out really well. Maybe there's something you can do with a dive kick or anything like that, but this is what I could have found, so it has some good use. The other thing that you can also do, which becomes available at level 3, is I have found some use for this target combo. Now, just like I said, if you have watched the previous video, then you know what I'm talking about. I thought that this wasn't really a good target combo because on punish counter, for example, without, as you can see, it doesn't even combo. It doesn't even link into each other. So I was like, what could this be good for? Well, another setup. Here we go. You can cancel this from the DR, from Crouching Fears as well. And that one will not whiff. You will not go underneath, which is great. So we got 3017. So actually, if you decide to spend a super bar on that, which the second hit is still cancelable into a super. So you can actually get some decent damage for just one drive rush and one super. It's almost 4K, which is definitely not bad for only one bar of super. So that's some good usage to that as well. Now, since we're on the subject of this specific target combo, and we're on the subject of standing roundhouse as well, let's continue with these two normals. So let's say my opponent is blocking and we want to get some pressure in. Obviously, this is a pretty good move because it does quite an amount of hit stun on the opponent, and canceling that into DR is a pretty good option. And if it hits, you can obviously get, you can obviously go for this, for example. And you get some decent damage and a free drink level. But if on block, you can go into crouching medium punch, and now this is where it gets interesting. So after the crouching medium punch, you can see how close I still am to loop. He is intro range, and we are +4. So that means if he would go for a jab, and we go for throw, as you all know, throw has 5 frames of startup. So the immediate first frame available for us, if he would go for a jab, it will immediately on frame 1 be beaten by our throw. So let's put it on block count. Go for 2 blocks because it's standing roundhouse DR into crouch medium punch. And let's put the dummy on crouching light punch on block reversal. There we go. So if you do 2 buttons, count it on. There we go. Then he goes for a crouching light punch of his own. So, check this out. He tries to go for the light punch and he gets beaten out by our throw. So this is where things get interesting, obviously, because we can use this tech to actually go for shimmies. This is a simple 50-50 for the opponent. So let's say we're gonna do the same thing. Instead of block reversal, we're gonna put him on normal throw with the exact same situation. So as you can see, now he's gonna take the throw. But for us, that becomes very interesting again, because we can wiggle with that. We can go for a shimmy instead of the throw and keep your opponent guessing. And we can go for that punish counter I was talking about with the crouching, with the standing roundhouse. And go for a combo like this, for example. So everything is coming together with all I've talked about in this video so far. So this is such a good offensive tool. And if people decide to mash as well, you can just beat them out with throw. And you just watch what your opponent is doing. I could explain stuff like that, but if you're noticing that your opponent is not going for throw anymore, they're not pressing anything anymore, well, the next time you're just going for that, or you go for a jab to get the counter hit into crouching medium punch or even crouching medium kick, and you can mix it up. It's a pure simple 50-50 in our favor So yeah, spend some time with that. One thing I still have to add about the target combo back fierce is that it can be used with our nifty little 50-50 mix up with the our crouching medium punch. If the opponent tries to go for a throw, we can immediately go into back fierce and the throw will get punished. However, going back to the crumple state of the standing roundhouse into the target combo, this one is actually very interesting. If we go for the full finish, we are plus 24. Now, you can actually get a really good meaty off of this in both situations. You can also get it in backward recovery, but for now we're just going to use recovery in place. And you can go for a drive rush into standing fierce meaty. Let's just save this so we don't have to do it over and over. Now we turn off punish counter and we go replay save status. So you get plus 7 frames out of this, so that means you can get a crouching medium kick or crouching medium punch. But the reason why I feel this is very important to show you guys is some people, some opponents like to do wake up drive impact, and because like for example, a lot of people like to go for drivers into overhead, for example, on someone's wake up. It can be a good tool, but it can be countered by a simple DI on wake up. So let's go over to the dummy, let's go to wake up reversal, and let's add drive impact to that. So when we do this, for example, now, he will go for drive impact. Now, the reason this is cool is that we still recover in time after that driver standing fierce to go for our own drive rush. So from the start, let's forget about the punish counter. Let's go just into that. There it is. So you can get a meaty, which is gonna leave you plus on block or on hit. Hella plus on hit, obviously, but still plus on block. To showcase you guys, we can put it on block all. Let's just turn drive impact off for a second, and let's go to our replay status again. Plus 3 on block, and that is actually really good because just regularly, let me turn off his throw. It's only plus 1, so it is actually legitimately a meaty with that last button. So that actually is pretty good. So yeah, that being said, it covers DI, it leaves you hella plus on block, it gives you a meaty. So a really good tool, so keep that in mind because it helped me out a ton. Alright, but this was a very good introduction to standing fierce. Now for the people that have watched the previous video as well, standing fierce was, I found the move useless. It only the 2 hits are cancelable, as you can see. Like I said, it had some usage on one combo that I used to do, is that one. You can get the standing fierce into that, but I actually prefer these days, I go for the EX bomb into that, into the drink, because you are still plus 4 on their wake up and you get a drink level in the corner. And the reason why this is so good is because Rekka leaves you at -1 if you go for the drink level variant of it. So that's why EX Palm into Sweep is actually really good to get an extra drink level and be plus 4. So that's why I no longer use standing fierce into the arrow kick after the EX Palm, because I rather have that extra drink level. However, the standing fierce is 5 frame startup. We've talked about this before. It's really good for a heavy. So, and it's actually a lot faster than some of the cast's medium buttons as well. Like for example, Jamie's crouching medium punch, 6 frames. Standing medium punch, 8 frames. So during footsies or during strings from someone in a specific range, let's say that for example Luke wants to go for a crouching medium punch, he will get beat out by our standing fierce. And on hit it doesn't do that much because we only get +1, but we get the advantage. If we start mashing, we can go for crouching light punch and we will obviously win that engagement. But if you get a punish counter, for example, sometimes that happens and it's actually fairly easy to confirm it because there's 3 hits, as you can see. So that way you can link it into standing jab or crouching jab, whatever you prefer, and you can get a Rick off of that. It is also really good in drive rush. It is fast. You cover a lot of ground really quickly. On punish counter, you can go into a standing medium punch, which if you are on level 1, you can go into the target combo and it's almost 3k. It is definitely not bad. So keep that in mind. However, also it beats out drive impact in neutral as well, because it's 3 hits and drive impact only has 2 hits of armor. So on the 3rd hit it will break. So you don't want to know how much I actually got. I closed the gap in neutral. I win against drive impact, so let's put it on drive impact for a sec. There we go. Normally, you know, I have to time it really well because it's on wake up, but if you're just in neutral, for example, there we go. Then this situation is what happens. I'll be sure to upload some real life footage as well where you can see it happening. It's really good to prevent that from happening. Like some people will react, like I said earlier, with drive impact to some of your drive rushes. And going for standing fierce will obviously negate that option for them. And you get a drink level off of it. Now, on block, this is also really good because some people know that it's normally it is negative on block, but you all know how drive rush works. It adds a lot of extra plus frames for you. So yeah, a lot of people, the experience I had so far, a lot of people are going to press buttons because it is -3. So there is a disadvantage about the heavy actually having such a fast startup, and it can interrupt someone's string or anything like that. So it leaves you -3 on block. However, that means it leaves you +1 in drive rush. So if you get the hit, you can just confirm it into, because without punish counter, for example, you can only get a regular standing jab or crouching jab off of it, because on hit it is +5. So you can get something like that. It didn't combo because your standing light punch changes after your level 1, so you can do something like that. And if you have drink level, you can also do the target combo, obviously. So yeah, it has some really good uses, but that is not all. There are some really good usages to this as well on hit for some resets. So like I said, on hit +5. However, our command grab is 8 frame startup, which means there's only a 3 frame gap to go for the command grab to reset the damage, for example. And if they will mash jab, for example, they will get command grabs. So for example, if you want to reset the damage in any way or shape, let's say you got a drive impact. And because like after drive impact, already the damage is already a little bit reduced. Any situation where you want to go for a reset, you can end your drive rush, for example, and go for the command grab. If they mash jab or try to mash out of it, they will get command grab, and you will be in a really good position. It helped me out a ton. It is really good. It is, yeah, like I said, it's actually just really good. Something like that, for example. Just to reset the damage and get that little bit of extra back to finish the deal. I wouldn't be using this like with like such like a big health amount left for your opponent, but just something to close out the deal is really good. And next up, this one is also very important, and I think a lot of you guys are gonna like this. Like I said, the first 2 hits of this button are cancelable, whether it be a special move or a drive impact, for example. So if you want to go for a cheeky reset with drive impact, let's say he's in burnout. Let's put our opponent on burnout, and we also get the hits. We got, like, for example, we hit a crouching medium punch in neutral, and we go for the reset. If you cancel this on hits into DI, it will reset and you'll get the stun. The reason why this is important is in some situations like this one, crouching fierce into DI is an actual combo. So you will not get the wall splat, you will not get the stun. But from standing fierce, you do. There's a very small gap. They would have to be mashing level 3 or level 1 to get out of it. If not, you will get that nasty reset from DI in the corner and get a new fresh combo off of that. Alright, moving on with normals. Now, let's talk about the forward roundhouse. Now, in the previous video as well, the first Jamie guide, I also talked about this a little bit, but I didn't see that much use for it. But it actually is pretty decent. So, obviously it changes on level 4, where you can use the headbutt for max damage, or if you wait longer, you can go for a drink, and halfway there, you can go for that. Actually, this does a fair amount of damage, as you can see, and if you cancel that into level 3, for example, as you can see, it already, you know, I could have extended it a little bit longer with, you know how it goes, but already it was going to 5.5k. So actually hitting that in the corner can be really nasty. However, in the neutral, for example, if you're not on level 4, this move has some fairly good usages. On counter hit, for example, which is, you know, pretty easy to see. Just if you see it hit, usually you'll get a counter hit. You can link this, it is +5, as you can see. So you can link this into standing light kick, because light kick has a little bit more range than all your other buttons. Unless you're in drink level 1, so be cautious about this. If you're in no drink level, your standing jab is different than in drink level 1. As you can see, you get more range, and it becomes the starter of the target combo. So if you're on level 1, you can actually get the target combo off of that as well, and it's some decent damage. You know, it gives, and just the range it covers is pretty decent. So yeah, pretty good usage for that. I would definitely recommend you to use it in the neutral, because, you know, it's just one of those buttons that people would not expect from that range. However, keep in mind that if you're using it on block, you are -3 as well, just like the standing fierce, so your turn is over. It is your opponent's turn. So keep that in mind. But it is a really good tool in neutral. It helped me out a ton just to get that first drink level, or even later than that. On level 4, like I said, it has some usages. Mainly if you want to go for, if you're on level 4, you want to extend for max damage. Instead of going for another crouching fierce, it is better to go into the kick and into the headbutt, because it works like that from drive rush, and this is not a regular combo. It works off of counter hit, but in my personal opinion, that is a little bit harder to confirm, because if I wait a little bit too long, because obviously you have to process it that it's a counter hit, yeah, it becomes harder already. So use it as an extension from drive rush, because then it combos and it does a good amount of damage. The last thing that I want to talk about this move is, let's say someone goes into back recovery after your, let's say just a simple combo, and they are pretty far away, right? Well, if they think they were safe, they were wrong. Look how much range this covers into DR. Now, I've talked about this before, it's almost full screen. Sometimes, you know, if people react to it with drive impact, it's not something you want to happen, because you obviously won't recover in time to go for DI. But in some cases, people won't do it from that far because they think they're safe, and then you have the upper hand. Just as you saw, it covers a ton of range, and in DR it leaves you +1, so you can actually keep up the pressure just like the standard Fierce DR. So you're plus. So that's why I feel this move is really good. If some people decide to go for a back recovery, you can still be in their range and keep up the pressure and go for new strings or anything like that. And that is the end for this particular video. There's going to be more videos after this. Obviously, I'm going to keep up giving you live matches and more tech videos in the future. So if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe, because I want to share this Jamie tech among the entire community if possible. Thank you in advance for helping me out a ton. Hope you guys appreciate this tech. Don't forget, as usual, to stay cautious, and I will see you all next time. Take care.